What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and today I have for you a tour of my apartment now that I've moved in. My last video was a room tour of the space that I was moving out of, and this is the space I've moved in. So you'll see a lot of the stuff is transplanted from my room because obviously I brought some stuff with me, but I did make a lot of changes because I was going for a different aesthetic here. This is more of a clean, minimal, relaxing aesthetic. That's why there's some greenery around. I may add some more in the future, and I might make an updated apartment tour video after a year when I've really lived in the space. But without further delay, let's get into it. For one, this is my bed right here. It is a full size, and basically all of the bedding and the sheets came from Target, from the Room Essentials brand, which if you're moving into like your first space or some sort of college dorm, 100% recommend the Room Essentials brand because it's really cheap. It's marketed toward college students, so it's all really affordable. It's probably going to break in a couple of years if I'm being honest, but you're only going to need it for a couple of years. I'm not sponsored, by the way. That's just where a lot of my stuff came from. So over here we have this is my, well, first we'll start with my stuffed animals. I just brought a couple because I don't really have space for all of them, and I think it, once again, clean, minimal, just a couple stuffed animals, because you have to have a few, dashes of personality in your room. Even if you're going for a clean aesthetic, it's got to feel like your room. So include things that make you you. So of course I brought some Pokemon plushies and my Plague Doctor plushie, which means a lot to me. Right here, this is a silk pillowcase. 100% recommend it. If you don't have a silk pillowcase, go out and buy one. It's great for your hair, prevents breakages, great for your skin, keeps you from trapping pollutants. It doesn't agitate your skin as much. If you don't have a silk pillow, 100%. Go and pick one up. They're not super expensive, and you really only need one or two, one to switch out from when you're washing the one that you're currently using. Definitely go ahead and do that, especially for if you want to really take care of your skin and take care of your hair. Right here is my nightstand, which once again, clean everything that I need when I wake up or will need when I'm on my bed. So all of my earbuds for when I'm listening to music, or I just kind of grab one and I go, depending on which one's charged and which one I'm feeling like using right now. This is my charging station where I charge my earbuds, my Apple Watch, and my phone. Right here are some wired earbuds for when I'm playing on like a DS or something like that that doesn't have Bluetooth support. Right here's my extra watch and my fake leather wristband for my Apple Watch for when I'm feeling like dressing up my Apple Watch a little bit. Right here is a carbon fiber cloth. I use this for wiping down my Apple Watch, wiping down my phone, and wiping down my glasses or any sort of like devices that I'm using, any sort of screen. A knife. You should always have some sort of sharp object on you to be able to cut stuff. You never know when you're going to need it. And chapstick. I always leave the house with chapsticks because it's windy and it's hot right now, and your lips are going to get chapped really quick. So always make sure you're walking out with some chapstick. Right here's my Amazon Alexa. I'm not going to say it because it'll wake up, but I use that just for checking the weather, playing music. It's a great speaker. And next to it is my wax melter, which you'll remember from my room tour video. I just use it to make the room smell nice. Right now I have an apple cider scented wax melt in there, and it's filling the room with a sort of warm fall smell, which is what I'm going for right now because it is moving into fall, even though it is way too hot here. Right here I have my desk, and well, the first desk. This is my productivity desk, and you'll really see that sort of minimal aesthetic that I'm going for here because I wanted to pare everything down. I wanted to make it very, very clean, minimal, so I sit down here and this is where I'm going to do my work. When I need to type up a paper or essay or anything like that, there's really nothing here that can distract me. I have my planner right here for checking so I can make sure that I'm on task, on schedule, pens and pencils for writing notes down or to grab when I'm going out for a class. Fake pot or fake plant because adds to the feel, adds a little bit of a greenery feel. I might buy some real plants to really spice up the space, but I might be a little too busy to take care of them. So for now, we're staying with the fake plants. My laptop here is a mix between a productivity laptop and a gaming laptop because this was my main laptop for most of last year. And it is the Lenovo IdeaPad 5i. So it's a 16-inch, 120 hertz screen with a 2.5K resolution. It was around $1,000. This was last year though, so it might have gone down in price. I 100% recommend it if you are looking for a mix between productivity and gaming, or if you do a lot of like a little bit of editing, because it does have a dedicated graphics card. It's not the strongest dedicated graphics card, but it's there. So it has natural, Iris Xe graphics for its internal graphics, but for its discrete card, it's an NVIDIA MX I want to say it's a 450. It might be different than that, but it can do some pretty decent editing and actually will handle basically every game. You won't be at the highest settings, you won't be at the highest resolution, but you'll be able to play them. And if you tweak your settings a bit, you can get up to that 120 hertz, so for that high refresh rate on the screen. My peripherals, once again, are very business, very focused. So this is my main typing keyboard, which is my modded GK61, PE foam, normal foam mod, Holy Panda switches with Crytox Go5. Crytox, I'm blanking on the words, but Crytox loop. And just a black and white keycaps. So this is my main typing keyboard because Holy Pandas are very tactile. They have a really nice sound to them. So just add that sort of click, 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 click. I really like that when I'm working. I like hearing my typing going on. It just is really relaxing for me. Over here is just a normal Microsoft business mouse because I made sure not to use any sort of like gaming peripherals here because once again, I want this to be very focused on work. So this is a work and productivity mouse. This is not a gaming mouse. I will not be tempted to go open up a game or something like that. I'm going to be playing nothing. I'm going to be doing my work here. Underneath, this is where one of my storage solutions was because I really did not have a lot of storage here like I mentioned. So over here is my wax melts and my wax melt holders so that I can easily switch them out, as well as my essential oils for my oil diffuser, which you'll see in a little bit, and the remote for the RGB floodlights that I have in 2 points around the room to add a little bit of color. Right here are my handhelds, and I use these quite a bit actually for when I'm riding the bus to campus, which is around a 20-minute bus ride, or when I'm in between classes, or if I get bored in class. We're gonna pretend I didn't say that. And at the end right here is my Razer Viper Ultimate, which is what I switch out sometimes when I'm gaming, as well as a universal controller, but I mostly use that for my Switch. Over here we have the gaming setup, which is kind of embarrassing because I don't have any sort of cable management, utilities right now. I might make a video on when I do actually manage my cables. So you'll see the power strip down there, my USB hub down there, my HDMI hub down there. It is a mess. We're just gonna pretend that that isn't there. But onto the actual gaming setup. I discussed most of the actual pieces of it in my room tour video. So if you're wondering about my monitors, mouse, keyboard, stuff like that, that's in there. But I'll do a quick tour here. So this is the Ponage Ultra Custom. It's one of my favorite mice because I have carpal tunnel from playing too many games, so I use this for having a nice ergo mouse. My gaming keyboard is using Acco Matcha linear switches because it's for gaming, so I want lighter key press, quicker key press. Tactile switches aren't really the best for gaming. My speakers are Fantex, I want to say they're Fantex Evo or something like that. They're just basic RGB speakers that didn't really cost that much. I have the RGB off because I think it looks better. My clock right here, because I always make sure to face my clock next to my bed so I can wake up and immediately see what time it is, even though I usually wake up at the same time, right at 8:30, so I can cook breakfast and get ready. Another fake plant for ambiance and to match my wallpaper. On the left right here we have my Xbox Series S, and I mostly actually don't use this for Xbox games. I use it for emulation because I installed RetroArch on it, and I mostly use it to play GameCube, PlayStation 2, some of them, some PlayStation or some PSP games, even Game Boy if I feel like it. So mostly home consoles, and of course it plays Xbox games, and I have Game Pass, so I do use it to play Xbox games occasionally. And on the right side is my Switch, which I use mostly for Pokemon. I'm a huge Pokemon fan. You saw the Pokemon plushes earlier, and you're gonna see more Pokemon merch later. If you are on a budget and want some sort of gaming console or something to play on, definitely get a Switch. All of the Switch games are great, they're unique, you're not gonna be able to play them on any other system. The Switch is just an incredible and underrated console, in my opinion. Over here's my mic. This is not the mic that I use at home. This is my Enogear mic. This is my backup mic because I left my main mic at home. Mostly because my mic stand, my boom arm actually doesn't have a wide enough clamp to fit around this desk, so I have to use a table mount. Down here's my PC. I went over the build specs a while ago. I did add a water cooler recently, but other than that, it's exactly the same. It's pretty old, Intel 9400F, AMD RX 5500 XT? Yeah, 5500 XT. All of that is in a Montech Air case. Now moving on to the rest of the apartment. This is my dresser, and this is kind of one of my where I added a little bit of personal touch here. So on the left, we have these playing cards, which I use for, of course, playing card games and stuff, but I also just think they're really pretty as a, you know, some sort of decoration piece. I bought them all from Target. They're made by Theory 11. They're incredible quality. They're really good for cardistry, which is what I used to do some cardistry, so that's what I used them for. And I just thought they looked really nice there. Right here is my oil diffuser. Use that to keep the room smelling nice. Also, having a humidifier in your room does have some health benefits, especially if you have like a dry cough or you're living in dry air. And then right here is the big splash of personality here. I just thought this looked good here, and it really shows one of my favorite interests, which is Pokemon. So I have my Pokemon Funko Pops here, and 6 Pokeballs, because that is as many Pokeballs as you can have for a team, and they're all different. I just think they look cool. So I have those right here. Right here is another Pokeball. This is the Pokeball Plus, the worst investment of my life. I bought it to play with for Pokemon Go. Not Pokemon Go, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and it wasn't really worth it. You don't need to buy a whole controller for one game, but it looked cool, and Nintendo is constantly stealing money from me by putting out Pokemon merchandise. Right here I have my AirPods Pro case and my iPhone 13 Pro case, because I think it's cool packaging and I wanted to put it somewhere. Here's where I store my keys and all of my jewelry, all my necklaces right there. Over here's where I store my wardrobe. So we've got, I just knocked over my floodlight. So we've got hanging up all of my button-up shirts, my jackets. Up top up here is all the hoodies. And then moving this over real quick is just storage, because I don't have a lot of storage here. So I've got my hats here. These are all pants, shoes, and up here is Oculus, my PS5, because I haven't had space for it yet. Me and my roommate are gonna split the cost for a TV so I can hook that up. All of my games, so PS5 games, Switch games, 3DS games, and that's kind of really been my main storage solution. I do have some crates underneath my bed, but that's kind of the big deal. When you move into a small space like this, you really don't have a lot of storage options, so keep that in mind. I was able to make use of that space down there. I did use some space underneath my nightstand. So really think about that when you're moving in. If I had it to do over again, I would have bought some more under bed storage, some crates or something like that, because I think that really would have helped with keeping things a little cleaner. So the way I organize my wardrobe here is I want it to be really easy to just kind of pick things out and go. So that's why I have my bottoms here, tops here. In here, I also have shorts, shirts, t-shirts. So I usually go throw on a t-shirt, and then I can just grab my pants, grab my shoes, and I'm done, you know what I mean? And grab a hat if I need a hat for the day. So it's really nice to have. I always want to make sure I have everything kind of stored to be as quick and efficient as possible, because a lot of the time you're going to wake up and you got to go straight to class, and especially when I have a 20-minute car ride like that, or a bus ride like that, it's very important to be able to get everything and go. So with that, that's kind of the overall tour of the room. Go ahead, and if you have any sort of tips or tricks for when you guys were moving in, or if you have any sort of comments on the room, go ahead and leave those down below. As always, a like and subscribe really does help me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.